back to a brand new episode of the Who What Now Gaming Podcast. Podcast where we talk about gaming and everything relevant to gaming. Today we have our wonderful guest from last week back again. Hello, Saya. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
There you go. You can speak right into the mic.
Yes.
You don't have to share it this time.
Oh, I know. My mic to myself.
You get your own mic, your own chair, the whole your own episode.
I know. Great. Just boost my ego right now.
How are you? How are things going?
Doing good.
Yeah. Gaming still?
No, I took a little bit of break this week. My wrist has been hurting because of just the weather. So
the weather has been pretty insane, going from like 0 degrees to what was it, like 40 degrees yesterday?
40 degrees, and like 2 days ago it was just like so windy. I'm like, okay, well this hurts. So fortunately, I can't get any of my gaming done as much as I would like to.
Yeah, I've been doing a little bit of gaming on, like, I don't usually game during the week, but I've been getting a good amount of it done this week because I've been trying to figure out how to put like little gameplay into the background of these episodes. So if you watch it on YouTube, you'll be able to like see just a little extra something, a little gameplay.
Oh.
But I'm not tech savvy. So I spent too much time recording full videos that were entirely way too big in file size. It was a huge mess, but I got some pretty good Stardew Valley practice in because
Cool.
I put like 5 hours into like testing this game out and
I have 20
recording.
minutes to Stardew Valley in.
It's not bad. I am enjoying it. I'm not gonna lie. It's been something that's been a lot more enjoyable than I was expecting it to be. But it's been very fun. So it's but I'm not typically a cozy gamer.
Right.
So it's something that I wish that I got more into, but I am finding myself getting into it pretty good. I think the next game that I do need to start though is Grounded.
Yes, you do.
Because we're gonna be playing some Grounded.
You hear that, Machete? We got somebody.
Yeah, we're gonna play some Grounded. I'm excited for Grounded. It's gonna be. I played it in the early beta, which was weird at first because it's like just trying to get used to the like the game itself. But there was a moment where you could find a like a case that had like the outlines of like people.
That's where you start off at.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
See, I didn't make it very far.
Yeah.
But
you wake up there. There's 5 like outlines of a body, but you can only play with 4 people. So
yeah, that was what I was going to bring up. Yeah. Why is there 5 slots and only 4 character selections?
I haven't actually finished the game.
Oh my god.
I have like 400 something days in that like game, but I have never finished it. I wanted to build up my house. So
yeah, you have a staircase.
I have a staircase.
Of pure...
I live in a tree.
Yeah, but your staircase, it like completely induces full dizziness and vomiting.
Okay, I have 2 different staircases. The spiral staircase of doom, which literally I get dizzy sometimes going up, so I just like...
Yeah, you do the weird like forward backward walk thing all the way up.
Mm-hmm. That's like the least amount of dizzy I get, and I look away. And then I have the never-ending staircase to hell.
Mm-hmm.
I also have that staircase on my brother's game. Thank you, Machete. He told me to build stairs because we were trying to get to the house and go on the roof. But when I looked it up, there was no like story inside the house yet. So maybe they'll do that one day.
Oh yeah, because you did make it all the way to the house to like try to get in, and the game doesn't want you to do that.
It doesn't want me to go inside the house yet. But if they don't want us inside the house, why do they have the window cracked? Enough for a 3-inch person to get into.
See, I will say it was that when I jumped into one of your streams, you were explaining the window situation, and that is, I think, like the moment that made me want to play this game again, because I was like, oh, there's way more depth to this game and more than you would think, and it's very it has kind of cracked me up because when the game came out, there was a show that's out now that wasn't when the game came out. So there's a show, it's on Hulu, but I don't know, I think it may be owned by Fox or whatever, but it's called Solar Opposites, and it's about two aliens with their replicates, or their, children, and they flee their planet and they crash on Earth, and they're supposed to be terraforming the Earth for the, like, invasion to terraform Earth into, like, their planet so they can, thrive and stuff. But they're idiots, and it's hilarious. But there's an underlining, like, backstory going on in the background of all of the episodes, and it's that as the one kid, basically, like, when they get upset, or, like, say you make them a coffee wrong, or you, I don't know, cut them off on the street or something, they shrink you down to this, like, tiny little size, and then they put you in this, like, little was like basically like an aquarium in their room, but they kept doing it to people, and so it kept building and building and building, and eventually they broke out. Now they live in the backyard, and so it's they're just living the game Grounded at the same time. And now, like, I've been watching the show, I've been watching your streams, and now I'm like, well, shit, now
I
I
need to
have
watch
to
the
I
show.
have to play
You got to
this.
play the game. I got to
Yeah,
watch the show.
I have to play this game now, because it does look really fun. It seems like they did a really good job doing, like, the survival aspect too.
Mhm.
'Cause I've seen you go up against, what, these big ass spiders.
Yeah, the orb weavers, the stink bugs, the mosquitoes.
It's like a one that sounds like a predator. Like,
That's the roly poly.
yeah,
I really think it sounds like the predator from
Predator.
whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, from
from
Predator,
Predator.
from the movie Predator.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which
yeah. I think I know that one.
never really seen either.
You haven't seen Predator? What?
I just know what it sounds like.
Uh, have you watched the Alien movies? Oh, Jesus. All right. Well, it seems like we have a lot of catching you up to do,
Okay.
because they're great. They're phenomenal. Are you a horror, like, movie
Yes.
person?
Yes.
And you haven't, okay, are you a suspense movie person?
Yes.
And these movies have not crossed your, wait, and you're sci-fi.
Yeah.
So how the fuck did these not cross your path?
They have. I just never sat down and watched them.
That's fucking embarrassing, I tell you.
Dishonor on me, dishonor on my cow.
They're great. They are fantastic. Alien vs. Predator is kind of weird. I think it was just made for the fans, but, like, doesn't really have anything real dire to, like, the lore and stuff. But the movies are fantastic. You definitely need to watch them at some point. Get around to it. Do it.
I watched all of Terrifier, but, like, out of order.
Terrifier's the weird, creepy clown
Yeah.
guy, right? Yeah.
The
I saw
hot
clips.
creepy clown guy.
Yeah, you have a weird fascination with this, like, horrible demon clown.
Yes, he is very cute.
What are you talking about? I'm gonna put a picture of him in this right here. It's gonna be, like, right fucking here. And you're gonna be like, oh wow, look how cute he is.
Yeah, he is so cute. It's just like, I don't know, something about him.
Something about
I can
him.
fix him.
What the fuck? This isn't a bad relationship. This guy he's a murderer.
Watch Terrifier. He's just lonely. And now he doesn't have his little demon friend.
That's not an excuse to murder people. Oh, he's just sad.
He's lonely, he's bored, he's cute. I mean, I could fix him.
Oh my god.
I would like to go up to a con that he's at and I'm gonna be like, I love you, I can fix you.
It's a part of me is concerned, but another part of me is just kind of curious.
Yeah, I showed my parents the movie and they were like,
yeah. If there was any other reaction, I would have been surprised. If you were like, oh, I showed my parents, and they were like, that was amazing. You're right. Super hot. I'd fucking lose my mind. That's insane. So is it just the Terrifier clown, or are you also into, like, Pennywise?
Well, no, Vecna.
Which version of Vecna?
The one where he doesn't have a face.
I feel like
But
neither.
I don't like Voldemort. Okay, like I mean,
Yeah, because he doesn't have a nose. That's fucking weird.
yeah, it's weird.
At least Terrifier's got a bigger nose. Fucking huge nose. Well, he who shall not be named is just gross. Also, side thing, I did not follow the Harry Potter lore for like the longest time. And then I think it was like back in like 2016 or something, 2015. I got like really sick for a weekend and I was like, there's nothing else for me to do. And so my girlfriend at the time, who is now my wife, um said like, look, let's just watch all of the Harry Potter movies. And it's definitely very like goofy and playful up until like the fifth movie, and then you start getting into like the Deathly Hollows and it takes like a drastic turn. But like the thing that still bugs me about the entire like Harry Potter movie collection, I didn't read the books, by the way, so like if the books are different, yeah, I wouldn't know. But at the end, the final showdown with Voldemort is so anticlimactic. It's it doesn't feel like we needed 8 movies to have
Yeah,
done
but
this.
obviously the books are gonna be better anyway.
I mean, I'm sure. Have you read the books?
I have. I just need to reread them because they're good and I like them.
I do remember when one of the books came out. Spoiler if you don't know what we're talking about. At one point, Dumbledore dies, and like I remember people being like,
So devastated.
yeah, fucking ripped apart. And I'm like, how is this book about the boy wizard like tearing people to pieces? It's I mean, it's great. Author's got some problematic shit going on, but the book and lore is pretty cool. But it's I wish I would have gotten more into it. I mean, I not to completely I have a Harry Potter tattoo, which is kind of crazy that I'm like talking about how much I don't get it.
But you get it.
Um but yeah, it is. Have you played the Harry Potter game?
Yes, no.
Were
I
your
I
eyes closed?
no, I started it on the PC and then my PC stopped working and now I have it for PlayStation so I can do that. And I just haven't gone back into it yet. I haven't even opened it. Sorry, silly frog. I'll
It
open it today when I get home.
Wait, what would you not open?
So they got me Harry Potter for the PlayStation.
Oh, like the
Yeah,
game.
the game, and I
The
haven't
physical game.
the
You haven't
physical
even
game.
opened it.
Yeah,
It's it's not the greatest, like it's not game of the year, but it's pretty damn
yeah, it
good.
is pretty good. I
It's
like it.
pretty damn good. I liked it. I found most of my time was trying to like get all the brooms and like do all the challenges and stuff, which was cool. But yeah, I mean at a certain point, um just walking into every room ever going Revelio, because I'm like, I don't want to miss anything.
Yeah,
And it's like, clearly we're up to something. We're just muttering words as we enter every single room possible, but who knows. I do like that in the Harry Potter world the amount of like supervision is just absent, you know?
yeah,
Also, it's the worst type of like how do I say this? Like societal like organization, cuz like their whole their whole thing is don't get seen or viewed or even discovered by the quote unquote muggles, the like normies, right? But meanwhile, like people are like severely struggling, and wizards can just make shit appear out of
yeah,
fucking nowhere, and they're like thriving, and they're like, oh, my broom is broken, so I have to teleport today. Meanwhile, Frank down the road's flat tire and he's not going to be able to pay his bills this week. It just feels like they could be doing so much more than
Yeah.
growing fucking pumpkins and teaching
Well, I know in the
bird
earlier
dragons.
movies, Harry does kind of like expose some magic when they're at like the zoo or whatever.
In the
And he,
first movie?
yeah, in the first
Yeah.
movie, and he like puts his cousin in the snake tank.
Yeah. Yeah, he makes the glass disappear or something, and he
Mm-hmm.
starts talking all snakish or
Yep.
was it Slith? No, Slytherin's a class.
Yes, it's glass.
Speaks parcel tongue, right?
Yes.
Bingo. Yeah, see, I know my shit. I know my shit. You know what I do know more on though?
What?
One of my greatest and favoriteest TV shows on the fucking planet.
What?
What's on your cup?
It's Animal Kingdom from Disney.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's nice. Doctor Who.
Doctor Who. I knew you were getting there.
Doctor Who's owned by Disney, so I'll take it and I'll
Yep,
pass
yep.
that off as a as
I
a
just hope Disney doesn't ruin
thing.
Doctor Who, even though I love Disney.
Have you seen like the new Doctor?
I know I've seen him in a different show.
Yeah,
I think he's a good actor.
yeah.
I haven't seen him as the Doctor since
I haven't either. I
kind of
haven't
never
gotten there.
really finished. What's her name? Jodie.
Yeah,
I just-
Jodie Foster or something.
Jodie something.
Jodie something.
But
Yeah, I like her. It took some time to grow on me.
it was funny. She was like, "What do you mean I'm a woman?" I would like an hour ago. I was a very angry old Scottish man.
Yeah, I think the show does a really good job at like making fun of itself.
Mm-hmm.
I still would love to see them make a Doctor Who game that's not a mobile game.
It's actually there's one on the PlayStation.
Shut the fuck up. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, like
There's a Doctor Who game on the PlayStation?
There's a Doctor Who video game. Like I had that same thought. Um and then like I went out and bought it at GameStop. It's so like it's
What?
I like it since it's Doctor Who. Yeah, I will stream that then. I did stream like 1 or 2 episodes of that.
How do I not know? So hang on. Hold on a minute. Is it what type of game is it? What genre? What are we talking about here?
So
Because
you're like helping like save the world.
I mean, always.
Yeah.
I mean, you're always saving the world. At this point, we've done enough time traveling around Earth that I
But the
feel
mobile
like
game sucked. I was very disappointed.
the mobile game.
Mm-hmm.
All right, are we talking about the same one where like you had to like build up the areas? Oh god, I hated it. I hated
Yeah.
it so much. In the beginning, it was fun, just kind of passing the time, but after a while, it just got worse. I think it's even still on my phone. And what?
Mhm.
What?
But yeah, you see both the 10th and Jodie's doctor.
Yeah, the 13th.
The 13th.
14th. Because
Right.
13th would have been Peter Capaldi.
Right.
Yeah. I feel like I always base I try to figure out, I only know that what number the doctors are solely because I know that David Tennant was the 10th.
10th and technically the 11th because he did regenerate.
Yeah, well,
but they're not counting it.
He came back for a special, right?
And he came back for a special. So like it was Jodie and then it was back to David Tennant, which I loved.
How long was he back? Because I haven't gotten there yet.
I think it was just for that Christmas special.
So it was just for that.
It like finished their Dr. Donna storyline, which I
loved. Yay! I love Donna. Oh, that's good.
Like how they left it off broke everybody's hearts. I
think the way that they leave most companions breaks people. I think my first. So here's a funny one. I for the longest time, wifey would not watch Doctor Who, and then I finally convinced her to sit down and watch the show, and she actually got invested. She was in. Ooh. And yeah. So then when we lose Rose Tyler, it fucking broke her, and she refuses to continue watching the show. So she hasn't seen anything else, and it's
to this day, every time I see that episode, I cry. I break down in tears.
Well,
Like, I'm having a good day, and the doc that episode comes on, and they're just like, "What is wrong with you?" And I was like, "She versus Tyler."
yeah, 1,000%. Well, what do you think? Because like the way that that specific episode ends, the like she's in an alternate, she's in like a
Parallel
yeah
universe,
parallel
stuck
universe,
there.
but the doctor was duplicated. He's not a time traveler. He's not
Yep,
a time lord.
he
He's
is
he's
now.
immortal.
Yep,
He's
human. He can live out his days with her.
so what do you think goes through like Rose Tyler's mind? Because we don't ever see her. We don't ever see that Rose Tyler again. We see the actress again as she plays like the
The bad wolf.
embodiment of
Yeah.
yeah. Which is it's part of my like a tattoo here of Bad Wolf across the TARDIS, and it's like one of my favorite like whole storyline like character storylines. But what do you think? Like is going through like Rose Tyler's like mind at this point, you know, the actual like the doctor that she actually fell in love with is gone. Excuse me.
Well, like he said when he left them on the beach, that the human version of him is the exact him when they first met, because he was just so angry, all this pent up, just the war and just hatred, and she made him a better person.
Yeah,
So she's gonna just have to do all that with the human version.
except that now he ages.
Yeah, which is like good for her, but I just like, why can't they just travel together?
Yeah, it was rough. It was a rough
I
episode.
I loved it and hated it at the same time,
Yeah,
because I'm just like, that your doctor is leaving you with the human version that, like, he wanted to give her a happy ending,
yeah.
even though it broke his heart.
I think I loved that the show has the capability of making you feel like real emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Like the show can make you laugh. You have some funny moments. You have some like super tense moments. But damn, the way that it just makes you so invested in these characters, and then the show will break your heart, and
Mm-hmm.
it's rough. Like sometimes there has been a few times where like I may not be doing anything for like the rest of that day. I gotta take a break. I just to like just for the glory of letting everything kind of soak in. Like one of my favorite episodes with David Tennant. I think it's called Clockwork or
Yep.
something. And so like where he's trying to find like there's like a distress beacon or something on this like alien ship, but
Mm-hmm.
it basically has this like portal or this wormhole that goes into like Victorian era, and he travels through the fireplace, and so she knows him as, you know, the man in the fireplace.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, he first meets her when she's like 7 or something,
Mm-hmm.
and then he goes back through. He says, "Hey, we'll be right back. Give me like a couple seconds." Goes back in for like 2 minutes. Comes back and she's like a teenager, and he's trying to figure all this stuff out. And like obviously, like time is moving much faster. And the overall arc of that episode is that they're basically waiting until they keep checking on her to until she's like of age to like harvest her like organ or something like that, because something in the ship is dying and they need
Because the ship was the human part, so they needed like a
yeah
human part from her to fix the ship.
yeah. And so it was, but it was something that was so interesting because you we so often see the show from the doctor and the companion's perspective, and so rarely do we see the effect that the doctor and the companion have on like these little blips of history that they
Because the
appear
people
from.
remember them.
Yeah, 1,000%. And it's they're not only are they so impactful, I think it's also a reflection of the, you know, us as the viewers who are diehard fans of the show, and that like the show affects us. Like when from the very first time you ever watched like your first episode, your first introduction to Doctor Who, in comparison to now, like way more emotion now than you would have. Like you watch the first couple episodes, you're like, yeah, fuck it, whatever, you know. Big alien crashes into Big Ben. They're weird, gross monsters that you wear skin suits and shit. It's like, well, whatever.
The Slovene.
Yeah, and then well done. Um, And then, but then you get to now, and you're like, we've lived through, if you went back and watched like the originals and stuff, like we've lived through 15 doctors, I don't know, 20, maybe 30 companions. It's a lot, and some of those companions have even gone off to like the one companion had their own spin-off show because
Yes.
there was Torchwood and then there
There
was
was
the other
Torchwood.
one.
It was.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
I
about
know.
though, right?
I
Yeah.
just thought of the name a second ago,
She
but
had
it's
the
about.
canine, the dog.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now I can't think of her
Yeah, I
name.
can't think of it either.
I just had it on the top of my.
Yeah. I do like what they also did with the no, she wasn't a mayor. What was she? Ambassador or something?
She was.
She was like a reporter at first or something, but she like
Mm-hmm.
kept going up. Like every time she would like show up, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "Oh, I'm the ambassador now." And they're like,
Mm-hmm.
"What the fuck?"
And then like they like kind of ruined her because she made a big
Mm,
mistake and she like regrets her mistake, but she like ends up sacrificing her life to save the
yeah,
world.
and that I think that was one of my favorite things about David Tennant's Doctor.
Because I think he's the only one that had like friends. Because that's a big thing, and everybody was steering the ship, and that like made me happy
Yeah.
that everyone got together.
Yes. Yeah. I think Matt Smith's Doctor was a little more. Uh, I don't want to say selfish or self-centered, but he's older. He's at a point where he's understanding that, especially with like Matt Smith, like he was supposed to have been the last generation.
Mm-hmm.
So he was supposed to have died. Which technically he did, but obviously didn't,
Yeah.
because they're only supposed to have 12 generations.
Yep. And then Clara begged to like save him, and so he has like a whole new cycle. So it's probably going to be for the new generation.
Yeah. Well, Clara became hers was fascinating to me because she became
Someone.
time itself, or
Mm-hmm.
became the essence of time. She gave her soul and everything to that strand of what like the last bit of what once was like the TARDIS, like something or other. But she jumped into it and sacrificed herself. And so like what they did for that episode where they spliced in little bits and pieces from like the older episodes, the older doctors and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and Clara was just showing up. I gotta say, I have to hand it to the show. It still gives me goosebumps to this day.
I'm getting goosebumps now.
I just got them. Yeah, it's one of my favorite things because before they revealed this in the show, episodes, I think maybe it was like the previous season or at least like a couple of episodes beforehand, um, the doctor goes to a Dalek like prison, and Clara is inside the mind of the Dalek, and you're like, who is this character and why? Like, why does this character matter? And
Yeah.
then that episode ends, and we never talk about it again. And so for like when the show was like airing like once a week, I was like, what the fuck is it? Why did we just throw this in there? And it
Yeah.
wasn't until much later and that you understand. And it is such a brilliant move. This is a beautiful show. This is
The
hands down my
other
favorite
thing that
show.
they did is they introduced a very important character by killing her off with David Tennant,
Ooh, hang on a minute. Okay. Say that again.
River Song.
Oh
So in the
shit.
library, yeah,
Yes. Yes, you're right. Cause
and like
yeah.
she knows his name, and we're like, what's this
Mm-hmm.
about? What's going on? He has no idea about like the diary's there, and they leave it in the library, and then like she's all with Matt Smith, and then Peter Capaldi. She shows up, and that's her end.
Yeah.
Like her story finally is put together. So like
Well, her for those listening have no idea what we're talking about. River Song was a really cool story arc because not only were you able to keep River Song around for a long time, River Song also has direct. This is huge spoilers. So if you want to watch the show, pause now, come back later when you've finished all the seasons. Um, it's to be able to link a character from David Tennant to have it bleed into Matt Smith to then have that character as a direct relation to the companions that Matt Smith picks up, and then have her story end with, you know, the 14th Doctor, but her, like, it's always explained as the timey-wimey kind of thing.
Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey,
Yeah.
ball of mess.
Yeah,
That's
exactly. But it's her story to us, to our viewpoint, is in reverse.
hmm
We saw the end of her life at her character introduction. So every time we meet her, she's getting younger and younger and younger until we get to the point where Peter Capaldi she's meeting the Doctor for the first time, and he knows everything about her. Whereas, you know, with Matt Smith, and is easily one of the coolest, most brilliant, like, story arcs. It truly puts me in a wonder every single time I think about it.
And even in the episode, one of the episodes, she's saying like we're going in reversed. Like every time I meet him, is the less he knows more about me, and the more I meet him, the more I know. Like it's sad. And she's like, I'll break my heart the day comes where I look at him and he has no idea who I am. And they did that to the first episode with David. Oh
Yeah.
my god, that would have broken my heart if I like seen
Well,
all that
and I
before.
I think that's what was so impactful, because there is a moment when, at the very end of Matt Smith's um time of being the
He was
Doctor.
like a computer thing.
Yeah, well, he they were supposed to go on that date,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like,
Not yet.
yeah, and he's like, I'm not, I can't, cuz like he's supposed to die, but then putting everything aside and just kind of accepting that you know that I think it's called The Doctor's Wife or
Mm-hmm.
something, and there's that underlying story there that I think sometimes can often be missed, is that you're seeing this as the Doctor's effect on River Song, but at the same time, like, Matt Smith's Doctor, the Doctor is now realizing that, yeah, he's falling for her and he loves her, but he also now has to come to the realization that from here on out, like, she will know less and less and less of him, and he will know more and more and more, because eventually the timelines will they meet in the middle, and they know exactly the same amount of information as each other, and then those paths intersect and they continue, and
And it's already shown where he
it's
got too
awful.
selfish and like they stopped him. It's when David Tennant was like, "Oh God, the words that break my heart. I don't want to go."
Yeah,
And then he like regenerates. Like he knows that he got selfish and tried to like he tried like change time, and it was the thing like you can't, if it's a fixed point in time you can't change it. And he's
can't
like, I
fix
don't
it.
care. I want
Yeah,
to save everybody. I'm selfish. Which
yeah,
like sweet, but he knows he cannot be selfish, and River's death was a fixed point, unfortunately.
yeah. It was a fixed point in time, and events would have only happened if that specific moment happened, and you can't change it. It's beautiful. This is a fucking masterpiece.
It's
An
done
amazing
so
show.
good.
It's incredible. I think, even with just the character development with David Tennant, Matt Smith's, like, overall story arc, even Peter Capaldi was really fun in his own, like, kind of way. I'm still working on the 13th Doctor. But she's proving to be pretty fun. She's got her own, like, thing going on, and I
I'm
enjoy it.
disappointed that they made like it's not that they made her a woman. It's just when he was Matt's like from David Tennant to Matt Smith, he wanted to be Ginger. Just give him what he wants. He's like, I'm still not Ginger.
Yeah, we're pretty great. Yeah, it is funny that they have that, like, that whole, as they kind of introduce, the doctors and stuff. I think that they're getting more and more clever with it, which has been really, really fun. For instance, the transition from Matt Smith to Peter Capaldi. um at the end of Matt Smith's like existence or whatever, he like kind of like dips out and does like a couple like things like off camera, and you never really know what he's fully up to. But that was the fun of the 11th Doctor, was that kind of that mystery where you're like, oh, he's going to be very joyful and playful and crazy in front of you, but he's going to be broken and falling apart, not in the eyes. And so to be able to kind of portray that while off camera was an amazing moment. But when he eventually became um I, whew, I it's listen, I am a beefcake, okay, but I will get fucking emotional when we go to Capaldi, the 12th Doctor, and he is basically thinking like, he's like, I'm fucking up all the time, I can't do this, I'm getting to the end like this, I can't do this anymore. And then he gets the damn phone call, and he keeps getting this phone call, and he finally eventually, like, the phone call comes through, and it's fucking his previous self
Mm-hmm.
calling to tell him like I wasn't done, but I know it was my time. And I'm fucking ah
Oh God,
I
that
I
just.
cried, man. I'm not gonna lie. I full face here, like I cried at the end. I'm fucking, it was so powerful.
I
Like,
know, like they made the Doctor younger to like for the companions, but like with Peter Capaldi, like he's like I'm not trying to be in a relationship with my companions
yeah,
because every time that happens, like he loses them.
it breaks him.
Like I just it's so sad.
And I think, but it's also like it's heartbreaking because yeah, in the story you're seeing, the Doctor, he likes, the joke is that he enjoys who he has become, because each transformation comes with its own personality, its
Mm-hmm.
own look, and all that stuff. But we're also saying goodbye to the actor and actress who like portray the Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And like when David Tennant left, like it's heartbreaking when Matt Smith was saying
I
like, I
was
wasn't
so
done.
mad. Yeah, like
He
I was
wasn't
like,
s- it's I wasn't done being the Doctor. He literally says, I'm not done being the Doctor. It's like, we know what you're saying as a story arc, but like we also hear you, and like it's fucking, it broke me. It broke me in the best way possible.
but yeah, like when like the first episode that he became like David Tennant, his hand gets cut off. John, like Captain Jack Harkness, takes his hand, like oh my god, and then he transforms, and he's like, I'm not done being me, so I'm gonna put all this regeneration into that hand, which makes the human Doctor.
Yeah. Oh my god, I forgot how they got the human Doctor.
Yeah,
I was
John
trying to remember
Barrowman
that.
had, or Captain Jack Harkness had the hand, and he's just been like chasing the Doctor since like he was left
Yeah.
on the ship.
I'm glad you brought that up. One of my favorite side characters, just hands down, from the very first episode we meet him, being just that like that suave, like showing up next to the clock tower, just, oh, looks like you need a hand, kind of thing. And he's such a I don't know any other way to put it, but he's like such that, like, that man's man kind of thing. And then just to, did you catch the Easter egg with the Captain Jack?
Which Easter egg? The
uh
face of O?
yes.
Yeah, I was.
Oh my god, thank you. What an amazing little
It
Easter
is.
egg, right?
Yeah.
Ah,
Like, he's an immortal being because Rose brought him back from the dead. And, like, it's just. He's there with the Doctor. Always.
always. Which is, again, one of those, like,
Mm hmm.
we've been talking to the face for seasons
Mm hmm.
just to have it. And like, and because I think at one point, like, even Rose Tyler says like, how does like, how does he know you, or something like that, and the Doctor's like, that's not for us to know. Like, he knows everything, he's been around since the beginning of time. And then you're like, oh, fuck, man.
I
Like,
know. It's just, like, so
it's
crazy.
so good. I've never actually had a show that captivated me as much as Doctor Who does. And I am so thankful for this show.
You do.
It's oh, I just I think Silly Frog sent me a video. It might have even been you. But there's a in between, I think it's like the Science Center or something, somewhere local in PA. That there for a limited time they have a full display of every doctor's like sonic screwdriver and like gear and stuff, and it's all the like original like material and all that stuff, but it's the only that like little display that travels is the only like actual prop of the TARDIS. It's the only one that's like the original, you know, like prop itself, which is amazing because I've seen like lookalikes. I've seen people like build them. I've seen people build them in like their houses.
That's so cool.
Have you ever seen there's one that I should show you. There is some I saw somebody built a like they took the door and the door frame off of like a room,
Mm-hmm.
and then
And they put
they
yeah.
put the TARDIS
I
there
want to
so
do
you
that.
can fucking walk in, it's a whole room, and I was like, oh, that is brilliant. That's
I want
such
to
a
do that.
brilliant idea. I don't even know where I would put my like downstairs is such an open floor layout. I might as well just put it on the front of the house and then just
Mm-hmm.
paint the house some different color, blend it in with the background or something, you know? It's so good.
Um, talking about like TARDIS. We have the same car. It's blue. I call mine the TARDIS.
Yeah, well, you didn't drive it today.
I know.
I was looking forward to twinning the cars.
I know. My boyfriend took it to work.
Ugh,
He forgot that I was
lame.
coming, and I was like, "It's okay. I can take my car next
Wow.
time, so we can have TARDISes in the driveway."
Way to go, boyfriend.
Ugh,
Ruining
rude.
the double twinning TARDIS cars. Unbelievable. Do you buy the like the merch for like Doctor Who? Like, do you have any like fun things? I always try to avoid like the word toys because it feels like childish. I mean, I know that I see the bag, but like
I have sonic screwdrivers. I showed you last time the flask.
yes.
That same person also, it's like literally trash, but it's like the bolts and nuggets. It's really heavy, and it's into a Dalek.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Like a sculptured art.
yeah, like
Oh, that's pretty
it's
cool.
really cool. I've got that. Um, I've got uh TARDIS blanket from my best friend. I was like, no one
Ooh.
touches it. This is mine.
Yeah. That's really
I've
cool. I
got
love that.
some plushies of the 10th and 12th, the 13th Doctor. I've got a little plushie of the TARDIS. I think my best friend also got me this, and it lights up and does the sounds.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Um,
I think I there's only one other person besides like you and like maybe my father who I don't know why I said like that. Uh get out of here, Paul. There is my wife's cousin is probably the only other person that I have ever heard know just as much, if not more, than I do about like Doctor Who. And it's like sometimes like I love like, you know, we'll go back and forth and like talk about like theories or you know, things going on in the shows and stuff. But she has surpassed me so much. And so now I've got to the point where like sometimes I have to avoid the conversation because I'm like, we'll get into it and then a spoiler. And as anyone knows, I hate spoilers. So I will avoid them like the plague, which is a weird thing to say in 2025 when the plague's not a thing anymore.
the second plague we've had.
That was a pandemic.
Pandemic, and then the first one was an actual black plague.
I do, yeah. I do remember turning on the
then
news, just being
the
like, "Wow, what
swine
a
flu went down for a
yeah,
year.
what a beautiful day!" And they're like, "Plague's back." And we're like, "The fuck!"
All right, who was playing with Jumanji?
It oh my god, it does feel like Jumanji. It in fact, I've seen some funny things where they were like, People were saying that the world was supposed to end in like the second it turned 2020.
I know. And then
And
they were saying
then
that 2012 too.
yeah, but like then it hit 2020 and all of us made the same joke about like 2020 vision. And so we're like, oh yeah, the future's looking bright. It's clear. It's beautiful. This is going to be a great year. And then just ever California's been on fire for like 5 years. The ocean
Thankfully,
is dying.
Canada stopped being on fire.
Yeah, well, Canada's and now the country's gone to shit. People can't get basic rights. We're it's like we're at a point now where I'm like, you know what? It probably did die. We're all just kind of living in this weird limbo state right now. Like,
Well, I'm okay with limbo as long as it keeps providing us Doctor
oh
Who.
my god, yeah, I know. That's you want to see an uprising? Cancel the show. The amount of Doctor Who fans who will like absolutely lose their fucking mind.
Pitchforks.
Uh
We'll bring our sonic screwdrivers.
it's just a bunch of nerds in the field.
And they're like, what are you doing? We're sonicking you.
We're all wearing trench coats and scarves and shit. Yeah, dude, it's the best.
Throw fish fingers and custard at them.
Well, that was yeah, man. You see, it keeps coming back. Amy Pond. Amy Pond was my favorite, like little companion art. Like, obviously, like Rose Tyler is like, I don't know. I don't even consider like she was. You know when like someone becomes such a good friend, you're like, you're not friends, you're family. You know,
Mhm.
you're family. Rose Tyler's family. Amy Pond was a companion. You
Mhm.
know, and then bringing Rory on,
So
and
awkward that he made out with both River Song and her mother.
yeah. Well, I'm trying to remember because River Song had a regeneration state
Mhm.
because she was stuck in like Nazi Germany or something for an episode, but
Mhm.
she was an assassin,
Mhm.
which was sick.
So she regenerated twice because she was a little girl.
Hey, hold on a minute. Wouldn't that have meant that that would have been the first time that they met? Because didn't she meet the doctor at that time?
Yes, because so this is when like Amy goes missing, and there's like, or God, now I gotta
She
rewatch
loses
it.
her memory in that though.
No, but she is not even with the doctor. That she's already been kidnapped, but we didn't realize she was kidnapped because
Right. Yeah, that
like
was
you'll
weird.
see little things like she'll see like faces of a lady, and then just like the first conversation they had was the doctor. She's like, I think I'm pregnant. And she's like, no, I'm not pregnant. And he keeps checking on her, and we're not sure why. And then it goes from being pregnant to all wonky because he's checking on her. He's like doing like ultrasounds on her without her knowing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he like suspects something's going on.
well, I think because they did I think at one point he even mentions like that he detected a time anomaly, but it shouldn't like it's in the ship and he doesn't know why. And so he's been like trying to which was I think one of those weird things that I didn't like about that whole Doctor arc was that he was almost too secretive, but it was justified in the way that he doesn't want to. He's tired of getting hurt by his own actions and like bringing companions on, but then knowing that like he's gonna live for thousands of years and they
They're
don't,
not, yeah.
and so he's just protecting the ones that he cares about. But also, when you do boil it down, that yes, the doctor who is older then all of them does eventually marry his companion's child
For
who
those
is
who
out
don't
of
know,
time.
River Song is older than her parents because it's just the time.
It's that and that you know what, and that is the perfect excuse for every episode when someone's like, hang on a minute, that's not math, and they go timey-wimey shit, don't worry about
Timey
it.
wimey,
Yes.
just.
It doesn't matter, don't worry about it.
But like, I want to go back rewatch it now and just like try to figure out when she was taken.
I would love to do an episode by episode watch with you and do like a discussion
Mm-hmm.
and like cuz I genuinely I think we could spend like 20-30 minutes each episode. Like I think it'd be fun just to have like a segment kind of thing. Like every so often we'll come back, we'll record and be like, "Hey, we watched episode 1 through 5 and now we're going to move on to these kind of things." Cuz it's there's so much depth in these. And what's really nice is that you have a group of writers who are taking on the overall story arc. And then you have other writers who just write episodes. And they just write episodes. And I gotta give full credit to. I wish I had it prepared because I didn't think about it until now. There was a writer who came up with the episode where one of the few episodes where the doctor's not even in the show, or very rarely barely in the show, but it's the one where they have like it's I don't even, it's like an AA meeting for like people who think they've seen the doctor, you know what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And they like create the little doctor force kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing.
And they all become friends, and then there's like this monster the doctor is chasing. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
that
and he
episode was
because he
really good.
absorbs them, and then
Mm-hmm.
they're like, "Hey, how come so and so didn't come back to the meeting last night?" And they're like, "Oh, probably went out and partied, or she was like, she was seeing that guy." So, and it was just like, it was just excuse after excuse after excuse, and then, but like it's having it was such a Doctor Who episode
Mm-hmm.
without having the Doctor in it.
And like the young guy is like flirting with the Rose's mom, trying to
Yeah,
get the doctor's information or whatever.
yeah,
And it just like they come and she like confronts the guy. They don't even care about the monster. Like, she confronts the guy. She was like, "You made my mom cry. What is wrong with you?" And the monster's like, "What's going on?"
yeah. Weren't they like in the middle of something and
Yeah,
she just walks over?
yeah. She's just like, "No one makes my mom cry."
Oh, dude, it's so good. Well, I mean, over the seasons, we've seen not only different companions, we've seen different doctors and stuff, but the plethora of enemies, or
Especially
quote
the
unquote
Daleks that
enemies.
keep coming back.
Yeah, well, that's a whole
They're like
crazy.
roaches.
There,
Oh my
it's
god.
insane because there was the one guy who, there was a whole like Daleks story arc, which was kind of crazy for a little while. That was like, the Daleks came, they basically captured this guy or something, and manipulated him, and then he helped like repair stuff, and then he was doing all this or whatever, and then he became the last Dalek or something like that. He like built himself a suit,
Yeah, that
kind of
guy.
thing. Like that guy was a menace.
Yeah, he was
That guy
weird.
was a menace. Um, but out of all the encounters, all the enemies and stuff, who would you say is like your favorite? Like something that, like, when you think Doctor Who enemy, besides the Dalek being so iconic, but like besides the Daleks, what sticks out immediately? What's your favorite? I know mine, and that's why I want to bring it up.
Okay, what's yours?
I'm not. I don't know. I don't want to know. I don't want to influence.
Oh, obviously, I love the Daleks, but I also really like the Silence.
Oh shit, that's my number 2 pick. That's a hands down my number 2 pick. Oh my god, I have to tell you this. I almost got the silence tattoo, but not the face.
The
I
marks.
wanted to get
I
random like dash tally marks around like my body and stuff. So when people were like, "The fuck is this?" and I could just be like, "I don't know. I have no idea." Like, it's
we would
so
mess with
good.
my little brother all the time. We would get a Sharpie and just mark ourselves, go in a room, come back, and there's like marks all over us. He After we watched the episode, he started freaking out.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite episodes. Definitely one of my favorite episodes. So those who have never seen Doctor Who don't know what we're talking about. Number one, go watch the show.
Yeah,
It
stop.
is
Press
so
pause.
good.
Go watch the
It
show.
is so good. But there is an enemy that has been around, I think, since like the 40s or 50s or something like
The
that, is when
Cybermen?
no, the silence, they
The
like when
Silence.
they
Right? Yeah, they.
infiltrated like the White House and the government and stuff. But they have an ability, this species of alien. They have this ability where when you see them, they can talk to you, you can
You
have a
remember
conversation. Yeah,
everything, but as soon as you look
the
away,
second you look away, the second you break eye contact, they're out of your sight. It's full amnesia. You forget
hmm
everything that just
and
happened.
that's why they started marking themselves to know, like, okay, well, we know we just saw the silence, but we can't really remember anything.
Yeah, it was really insane. Like one of my favorite parts, like the scene
Like they
wise.
walk into a room and then the lights like flicker and then there's marks on, and they're
Yes,
like,
that's what I was gonna bring up. That's
yeah.
a yeah, 1,000%. Yeah, they'll look in a mirror or something and they'll be like, okay, we can do this. And then she'll take a deep breath and then she'll turn around because she like thinks she hears something, right? And then Amy Pond will turn back around, look in the mirror, and she's got like dashes on her face, on her
Mhm.
cheek, and her arms and stuff.
Oh
And you're
my
like, what the
gosh.
fuck, man?
Yeah,
Like,
like oh my gosh.
yeah, it's oh my god, I'm they're such a close second for my favorite like enemy because they're not only do they pose a an actual threat to like the doctor and stuff, but and they're very very difficult to obviously to combat. Um, even they even put like there was recorders or whatever in their hands or whatever,
Mhm.
and because one of my favorite scenes just through that whole arc was that the doctor said, you know, he implants the recorder in the guy's
Yeah, and then you
hand.
see it flashing and there's marks on you, and like you
He
know
was
you're
like, yeah,
recorded.
he was like, I would know if I saw one. And he goes, are you sure? And he goes, 1,000%. And he goes, then why is your hand blinking? And he looks down and I'm like, fuck, already?
Yeah.
Like, damn.
And the funny thing is, like, they have them trapped in like the orb, and how they kill the silence is they like. So this is like going on the first steps of the moon. They interrupt that broadcast, and like it's the silence saying you should kill us all on sight. And so like people are getting up
Oh yeah, they
and they're like
manipulated
turning
the trans.
around, shooting them.
Yeah,
And like you see the president sitting down, he stands up, and then his guards just start shooting at the silence. Oh my gosh,
dude,
it was
it was nuts. It was such a
they
great
it
episode.
was, and like the doctor knew he couldn't do it on his own, so he tricked the silence to having everybody else
Well,
take
right,
over.
because he says his one rule is he like
He does not.
the doctor doesn't kill. He's like the fucking Batman of time.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't kill, but drastic measures call for loopholes.
Yeah, and he hates doing it. He gives them. He's like, I'm only giving
I
you a
love
chance.
the ultimatums
Yep.
and he's like, listen, I'm giving you the choice right now because if you don't choose the right answer, shit's getting wild.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Oh, I just want to cancel the rest of the weekend and we need to sit down and just watch Doctor
Oh
Who.
my god, yes. I
My favorite enemy is the Weeping
the weeping
Angels.
angels. Oh my god, those are so terrifying.
They are terrifying, but it is I think the art design behind them, the concept, just like the silence, they've been around forever. Any statue, any like I love obviously the first introduction, the first time we see the Weeping Angels is an episode called Don't Blink
Don't
or
blink.
Don't, you know,
I've learned not to blink because of it.
every single time
That
I
was my
see.
first Doctor Who episode ever when
Really?
I was a kid.
That is a hell of an episode to
Yeah.
start with.
Oh yeah.
That is
I
a wow.
and so we had like this bird bath, and it was like an angel, and so my brothers would move it, and we're like watching TV in the basement, and then we hear a knock on the window, and I'm like, what's going on? And we open the window, and there's like a freaking the statue, and oh my god,
Dude, your family seems like
it's
the
not the
worst
first time.
people to know
Yeah, yeah.
information for. Like the second they know something gets to you, they're like, "Fucking all right, everyone, huddle up.
Oh my god, I
Here's the
was down
plan."
there, and for like they bought this was like literally a year ago. They bought this Halloween decoration. It's an angel, and so
Love it.
my dad, my mother, and my brother, I would like sleep in their like the spare room, and they would just knock on the window, and then it would be there. But the thing is, they would move it, and then I would wake up in the middle of the night, and they just have it holding over me, or like they'll put it in the shower, and like they'll be like standing in the shower flickering the lights, and I like pull the shower open, and it's just like boom. I'm like,
uh,
thanks guys, thanks for traumatizing me even more.
it's that's I wish there's a part of me that wishes that uh so my wife does not handle being scared very well. And I've learned the hard way. And I know that sounds like, oh, what happened? One time you scared her or something, and then she yelled at you and made you feel really shitty about yourself. Yeah, a few times, but that's not like if you pop out intentionally and go, "Ah!" All right,
That's
my
funny.
wife's immediate reaction, it's completely involuntary, but she fucking throws hands. And like I've caught full open palms to the face. I've gotten hit. She's got a pretty gnarly like left hook, and I caught it, like I just happened to just pull out of the way. She hit my like arm, like shoulder area, like fucking hard. Like she's got some fucking power. And so we've just kind of learned like don't like it's not, like don't scare her kind of thing. And then one day, like we're so used to this. This is ground rule in our house. I'll fuck with the kids like every so often, right? And they'll try to scare me. But the golden rule in the house, there's two rules. I have a very open rule house here. I love, don't draw on my fucking walls. But if you want to draw, like we'll find you some shit to draw on, express yourself, be who you want to be, kind of thing. That being said, my kids will try to scare me often. One day, the wife decided to feel like, she got real, I don't know, brave, and she called me upstairs. I come walking around the corner, and she goes, "Ah!" I made a sound that could only be described as like someone took just like a slowly dying like squirrel, but then tried to like speed it up and then mix that with like a weird moan kind of thing. And I just stood there. She's like pissing herself laughing so damn hard. And I had this like realization where I'm like, I don't actually know myself as much as I thought I did, because the sound that came out of me was, it's still a sound that I think about today. And it's just like, this is why we don't do these things,
I'll wait like in the shower, hiding, like crouched down for like over an hour just to scare somebody.
Jesus. That's dedication.
Yeah, as a kid, I would like hide in my brother's closet. Sometimes I'd fall asleep. That's how long it would take, and then I would
Yeah.
like scare them. It was funny.
There's a true story. When I was a kid, I don't personally remember it, but it's been told to me like multiple times throughout my like childhood and stuff. But there was these two other kids that my mom watched like during the day when I was younger. And I guess we were playing like hide and seek in the house or something, and I hid under one of like the beds, and I fell asleep just like hiding. And I woke up apparently to them pulling me out from under the bed, but like my mom had like called the cops. There were people like doing like full neighborhood sweeps and stuff. Like they were legitimately like it was like if he's gone for another like I don't know 16 hours or whatever, because you have to be gone for like a certain amount of time,
Yeah.
then they will put a missing persons report out there. And it turns out, yeah, I just like passed out into bed. Now I was young enough that I don't remember this, but it's not it's not it's not as epic as one would make it if it was being made up. So it's like one of those stories that I do kind of just believe, that I'm like, hey man, I'm sorry, but it's like when she brings it up, it's almost in a way that I'm supposed to apologize, and I'm like, I don't know how to apologize for this. Like, not only do I not remember it, but like, what do you want me to do, man? Like, I can't go back and be like, oh, I was under the bed.
Yeah, we would like spider crawl up the wall, wait for somebody to get out of the bath, and then
Oh,
jump
you were
down.
one of those kids.
Yeah. See, it's I
That was last
blame
week.
my father for this because we would go hunting, and so he has like a bear head and a deer head. He would like
Nice.
take the bear head while we're in the shower, and then it just slowly creep the bear head over the thing. And so, like, we're washing our hair, we turn around, and then we scream because we see a bear just looking down at us.
Yeah, you guys have a lot of it's just an open policy in your bathroom at any time, isn't it? Like, someone's in the shower and people are like, "All right, huddle up." It's shower time. Somebody go.
And then he would just piss himself laughing, and just like he would do it at all of us.
Yeah, I think at that point I just stopped taking showers. This
If
sounds like
you're
an
watching
awful
this, if
situation.
you're watching this, Dad, yeah, the reason why I hide in the shower like for over an hour to try to scare
Oh my
somebody.
god. Yeah, because it's the only place you know where you're allowed to scare somebody. I don't want to
No, so
break
like
this. I
there
don't want
was
to be the one to
so like
break this
Rob's
to you.
brother would come home and I'd run in the shower, and like the times I would run in the shower just like crouch down waiting with the lights off, he'd be like, "Oh, I don't have to use the bathroom," and I'm like, "Seriously, I've been waiting here for like an hour, crouched down, my legs asleep."
I see. I like to try to put things like around the house to like like try to scare the kids, but my kids are so oblivious to things around them that like I'll I'll go to like put something like I'll the old trick where you lean something up against something so that
Mm-hmm.
when they come in they'll knock it
The
over
knock
and
over, yeah.
it'll but most of the time they'll see the thing that would knock it over and they'll step over that, but then like they'll completely avoid the thing that I need them to do. So I'm like, oh, come back, come back, come back, and then they'll come back and I go, all right, now go back that way
That's what my
and go,
dad would
yeah,
do to
yeah, and it was
us.
like, and you're just like, come on, man, just do. So eventually I'd have to I walk over, I hold their hand, I come over and I go, okay, now step on that. Just do that thing right there. And they're like, well, I don't wanna. And I go, you no, fucking fun, man. Like it's the worst. Meanwhile, the cat will try to like the cat scares the wifey a lot because he does this thing we call him owl face when he gets in this like weird mood. He gets in this like playful mood. We bought a pack of 24 of those mice because he'll take them, he'll run away with them, and then he'll hide them for some reason. But then he forgets where they are, so he doesn't know how to find them and bring them back and stuff. But he'll play like we. This is gonna sound weird, but we taught him to play fetch. So we like you can throw it, and he'll go and pick it up, and then he'll if he wants you to throw it again, he'll bring it back to you.
That's pretty cool.
It's very strange. The dog doesn't play fetch, but the cat does. We also taught the cat how to sit, but the cat will go around corners, and then he'll get real low in that like pouncing state, right? And then he'll wait for the wife to come around the corner, and then he just goes right for the ankles. Well, she's super jumpy, and he doesn't try it on me. So like it's just this constant back and forth with these two, where they're constantly, she's wifey's too afraid to go around corners now, and the cat it only
He was definitely a human in his last life.
1,000%. Yeah, if reincarnation's real, like that's yeah,
Oh yeah.
because he's such a grumpy ass like cat and everything, but it's like you're like brother, come on, like get your shit together. Like he's just I I've been jealous a little bit sometimes. You go see someone who has like the like house cat who like likes to be on your lap or like will come up and like cuddle that space between your like your neck and the couch kind of thing, right? And they're just so lovey and stuff. Meanwhile, fucking Grumpus over here is looking for his next like bowl of tapioca and wants to know when his program's on. I bet like, and he'll come in here, he'll like lay on the chair and he'll just snore. It's like, buddy, like do something cute. Like I'm not trying to sound like an ass, but like do something cute or something, like no, he's an asshole most of the time. And when he's not being an asshole, he's fucking licking his asshole on our stream. It's ugh, just want the cute cat. Anyway, this really turned out to be more of a Doctor Who
Yeah,
episode,
it
but I'm
has.
fine with that. Um, I don't know. I'm a big Doctor Who fan. Obviously, you're a
Me
super big
too.
Doctor Who fan. I would love nothing more than to like. I want to go in depth into like a Doctor Who like memorabilia place. There's got to be one around. There has to be,
There
right?
has to be. Oh, David Tennant's wife. She was actually one of the actors on the show, and she played his daughter. They have beautiful,
Really?
yeah, they have a beautiful family now. Um, and they're, I don't know if they're gonna do it, but there was talk about doing a spinoff for her because she dies in that episode, and he was like, I want to wait because she's like when they first go in, there's like he sticks his hand in and like takes his DNA or whatever. So he thinks she's part Time Lord, but then she doesn't regenerate, and so he leaves. And after
Oh,
he leaves, she wakes up, and then she steals the ship and just goes off to her own adventure. Um,
that's right. I do remember that
yeah,
for some reason.
Jenny, I think her name was. So
Yeah,
like I'm hoping for that. I don't know, like they have kids, so
that
like
would be really cool.
I don't know if they're both gonna like be on a show, but that would be really
That
cool to
would be
bring her
really,
back
really cool.
because it was so cute that now they're married. They have a beautiful family. I'm so
Were they
jealous.
married at the time of the episode?
I don't think they were.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
That's cute. Yeah, you did just remind me of the amount of times that the show has made the TARDIS a character, like such
They
a
made her like a actual human being,
well. There
and
was the our first introduction, which was when Rose looked
into the
into the
TARDIS. Yeah,
TARDIS, and
it was killing her,
it
but
was killing her, but it was also like a part of the TARDIS kind of gained a voice through Rose Tyler at that moment and spoke to the Doctor, and like then when they crashed and she became like a sentient like human or whatever. um
these people that like eat Time Lords or whatever and like
yeah,
suck the energy out of the TARDIS. The TARDIS is a living thing. That's
yes,
what they're like trying to get at. And the Doctor's like, well, you think I'm scared of you? I killed all the Time Lords, and
yeah,
he regrets that because of the Time War. Again, watch Doctor Who.
dude, the Time War is such a so Time War obviously happens on the planet of Gallifrey, and it is we find out much later that the Doctor for about I think he was 1200 at this time. So for like over 1,000 years thought that like
It was gone
that it was
because
gone, that
from the
Gallifrey was
Eighth
destroyed.
Doctor, then like introducing the Ninth Doctor, he's angry. The time like he lost Gallifrey and all this
Mm-hmm.
stuff, and like he
His home planet
what was it
is
like he
gone.
finds out they bring David Tennant back for that special with Matt Smith, and it's like Gallifrey isn't gone, it's stuck in time, which they have to go save, and it shows all the doctors, which is very
Well, not
cool.
only was it stuck in time, it was frozen in a
Yeah,
painting,
in a painting.
and then he wiped his own memory so that it would never be used against him.
hmm
And I think that was one of those super beautiful moments at the end of that show because at the end of that episode because David Tennant obviously was seeing his future self as Matt Smith, and Matt Smith was seeing his previous, generation, but not remembering
hmm
this moment. So, like, discovering those two things together, and then seeing the first Doctor being like, "Hey, like, what do you like? This is so fresh to the first Doctor." But the other two have had so much time to kind of, reconcile with these
yeah.
feelings.
Oh, that was like the War Doctor too. But
Yeah,
I'm glad they made like the War Doctor, and that's when they brought Rose back as Bad Wolf, and only the War Doctor can see her. And like, I'm glad they
it
made
is
that
so
reference.
good.
David Tennant's like, Bad Wolf. How do you know that?
Yeah, because it was the start of like
Yeah,
it
like,
is they do the writers full props. They
yeah,
do such an amazing job intertwining one linear story where all of the details are happening, excuse me, at different points of time at intersecting moments throughout all of the episodes, and they flow beautifully. Such a fucking great show. I love this show.
because it's for the longest time the Doctor thinks he's alone, and then there's the Master, and the Master's
The
evil.
Master was actually the last topic I wanted to bring up
Oh my gosh.
because the Master. So our I haven't like I said I haven't seen the Christmas special yet. So, but I do know that oh shit, what's his name? Harris, uh Pat Neil Patrick Harris
hmm
is the Master. And I saw one still shot where like the Master's got like a fucking billion teeth for some reason. And I'm sure that it has something to do with the episode. I don't really know, but it's like the weird thing that's been like stuck in my head up until I finally watched the episode. But Um, there is we first see the master when he was lying dormant,
Hmm.
with the like the pocket
Yeah,
watch that like takes your
your memory. He thinks he's human,
yeah.
and then when he meets the doctor, things start unraveling, and
It was awesome. It was brilliant. I think in that episode though is when the information is revealed as to why he's called the master and why the doctor goes by the doctor and not by like he's not. The thing is the doctor's not born the doctor. Like
yeah,
that's not his name. It's his role because his whole thing is that he goes by the doctor because he never wants to be recognized as to who he is, because who he is, like who he was born as, whatever, like he's not a fan of. He's not that person anymore.
hmm,
And that the only person he wants to be is the person that helps people. And then the master is basically a play on making fun of, like it's like, well,
and
if you're the doctor, then I'm the master.
the other Time Lords, they kind of like ruin the master because they put him in this thing, and he just goes mad.
Yeah. Well, they punished him and then they forgot about him for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, yeah, of course he's gonna go mad. Um, but I enjoyed the iteration of the next generation of the master after we see for the first time. The I really wish I knew her name, but the one actress who played the master afterwards or after
Oh
that guy.
yeah, Missy, they called her.
Yes. Oh my god,
She was good.
she killed it. She was absolutely nailing the
And it was so
master.
funny that the sexual tension between her and the doctor was just so
Yeah,
weird
it
because
was
I'm used to
so
him as
good.
like I liked him as the master, the dude. He played really well, and
Right.
it's just like weird that she's flirting with the doctor where they're supposed to hate each other.
Yeah. It was so good though. I think they're just the way that they were able to keep their composures as like, those characters and like, the actors and actresses and stuff. But like those characters to be able to remain themselves while also intertwining throughout random like or seemingly random episodes. And I think what's nice about the show is that it'll drop little details that are insignificant. Like it's just something that we've seen the episodes so many times, or we've talked about them so many times. And I mean, I would even say that there's probably episodes that we've seen now that have had little details in there that we won't know are details for later seasons.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's beautiful. This is a great show. I love this show. God, it's a great show.
It is.
You got to go watch it.
Watch
It's
it
fantastic. I really could talk about Doctor Who
forever.
all day ever. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
forever and ever. I had so many topics that to talk about, but it just didn't work out that way. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, no, we went down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, there's probably good. I mean, it was good reason. Like I wrote that topic down because last week's episode, we kind of go on like a little tangent, and
Yeah,
I felt kind of bad
you're
for
just
Silly
like,
Frog just sitting there in the middle, just being like, "Oh, what the fuck's going on?"
yeah. She's like, oh god, what are they talking
How
about?
come Silly Frog doesn't watch this show? Silly Frog, why don't you watch the
Yeah,
show?
why don't you?
Is
I got your brother into it, and then oh my god, we're like trying to collect all the DVDs so I can just have them.
Ooh, that's really good. I went and started buying them on iTunes, because I tried to collect the DVDs, and it got to the point where it was like you could buy one season for like $15, or you could buy all the seasons for like $400. I was like, what
I
the
was like, yeah,
fuck?
that's
Yeah,
so
I was
dumb.
like,
I mean, yeah, they're popular, but oh my god.
yeah, I just want to see this stuff. So
And I
like,
know they have it like on the TV, but it's just like it's not like classic Who episode 1 to all that. It
yeah, no, I agree.
which I'm trying to.
I would love to get like every single episode in a physical copy, because digital media is really nice and convenient, but it's not. It can be taken like, I know that sounds kind of arbitrary or kind of dumb, but like if you think about it, like you're watching your favorite show on whatever your favorite streaming platform is, and then say like something happens at that building or wherever they're broadcasting it from, like you just don't have access to it. And for God's sakes, we saw what happened when they took TikTok down for 12
Oh
hours.
my gosh.
The fucking world broke.
Yeah, everyone
So
like lost their mind.
I gotta say, I mean, I will say, like, not to tangent again, but like, um, in a way, I'm kind of glad that TikTok disappeared for at least 12 hours because I use it so much less now. I didn't
Yeah.
realize how much I used it. I used it for everything. I'm on break at work, boom, TikTok. Bathroom, TikTok. Shower,
Yeah.
TikTok.
I just haven't really opened it. I'm just like,
I
what's
didn't
the
use it in
point?
the shower.
They're gonna ban it. Whatever. It's
Yeah, I mean,
watch your videos
eventually.
somewhere else. I guess everything doesn't always last.
Well,
Like,
Vine is a huge,
oh my god,
like,
Vine was.
Vine was huge, and it was 6 seconds.
Mhm.
TikToks, you can get up to like 10-minute videos.
Mhm.
I've seen lives where like I scroll by, it's like a full fucking movie.
Mhm.
And I'm like, how are you doing this? How is this not like a, like I go and use like, I say the word fuck in my TikTok video and they're like, whoa, settle down. We got sensitive ears out here. And then this guy's streaming a movie that's in like he's physically sitting in the movie theater streaming the movie. And I'm like, this what
Which you're not
the fuck
supposed
are
to
you
do. So
doing?
why are you streaming it? That's
Yeah,
where do
I'm
you
like,
get
but
kicked
what are you
out?
like? How is this just fine? You know, I don't know. I don't understand the internet. I don't understand a lot of things. There's a lot, honestly, there's a lot of things that I could be doing in my streams that I could probably do a lot more, but I'm more afraid of, you know, copyright issues or whatever. Hey, speaking of shit, you're about to fully amp up your streaming,
Yes.
kit, right?
Yep.
Are you excited?
I am.
Dude, I'm fucking excited. You got the computer. You got a PC,
I got
like
the
a
PC.
legit gaming
Mhm.
PC now.
Now I just have to like download the stuff and just try it out. And I want to do like the cool effects. I forgot to message Cinnamon and ask her what she like, you know, downloads and stuff because I
Yeah,
think it'd be cool. Because I can't do like your intro like I can't on my Xbox, but you probably have like it set up to your computer and stuff, which is probably
me.
yeah you.
Oh, I'll show you my stuff. I'll help you out because like I pay for a site, and so like I'll just we'll just use my account. We'll just make stuff on my shit. I don't pay for the fucking shit. I pay for it, so I get unlimited amount of creativity. So it's like you know,
I am
um,
creative but very bad with technology.
yeah. Well, and see, here's the funny thing is me saying like, oh yeah, let's vamp your your stuff up because when I started this, um is I'm not trying to out myself here or embarrass myself, but everybody from the show knows Noah. I always talked about Noah as my tech guy, but it kind of goes a little more deep than that. Um, Noah, I was so off, quote unquote off grid. Um, when I wanted to start doing this, I bought the laptop and then Noah had to come over and basically show me how to fucking use a computer. And I was like, this is rough. And so we're like sitting here and I was like, okay, he's like, all right, so just take this, you're gonna download this file and then put this file in this folder over here and then just take that, move that to your desktop, and then you can get rid of this because you don't need this anymore. And I'm like, fucking slow down.
Yeah.
Where do I find the files? And so like he's sitting here, he's the most patient fucking person in the world, and he's really, really good at like explaining these to fucking idiots like myself. And now I'm pretty damn good. Like I got this under wraps and stuff. But he came over and I was like, I'm really sorry that you have to sit here and teach me how to do basic shit. And he goes, no, it's fine. And I was like, this is like teaching a child a single letter, isn't it?
Mhm.
Like the amount of knowledge that you have on this, you're like teaching me to write the letter B, whereas like you're creating poetry and
Mhm.
writing novels. And I'm over here with a big ass crayon in my hand. I'm going, you know?
I know the Pokemon MMO my best friend got me on. She like so we're like downloading and she sends me a video. She's like, so this week you need to do it. I'm like, okay, thanks for dumbing it down. It helps so much. And she was like, did you download this? And I was like, yeah, she's like, watch the video, and I'm like, okay, I will.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I fried my first computer when I
Ooh.
was a kid. Now you say kid, like people are like under 10, like think under 10. I think I was like 14 or something. But I fried the computer, and it was like one of those things where, of course, you bring it to someone who knows computers, and the first thing they're like, well, what were you doing on the computer? And I'm like, listen, I know that you want to go down the funny route because they're like, oh, teenage boy and stuff, but I'm like, I was downloading emulators and ROMs, and I didn't do it properly or safely, and I
Mm.
destroyed my fucking computer trying to play
Oh.
Nintendo 64 games, which I now know as an adult, retrospectively, I could have just spent $35 to buy a Nintendo 64.
Yeah.
But I was a kid, and I thought I knew everything. So
Our first computer was when my sister was in college. She gave us her old one and got a new one. I think my little brother broke it on purpose because he was sad. He was salty with me about what I did to his Sims character, which he'll never let me live down, which he thinks I did on purpose.
did you
So
scare him in the shower?
no, on Sims, he like I love Sims, so we're playing it,
Sims is
and
good, yeah.
he's like, okay, I'm gonna go run to the bathroom real quick, and then I'm
And you
like,
were hiding in the shower. Yeah, I know how this goes. I got it.
no, I was
I'm picking
sitting.
up on the patterns.
I was sitting on the kitchen, and then like, his Sims, who like, he's got a wife. She's pregnant. She goes swimming, and I'm like, I don't stop her, and I'm just like sitting there, and then she dies, and he gets back. He's like, you drowned my wife. I was like, I didn't drown your
And you
wife.
were like, I didn't drown her. I just removed the ladder. It's not my fault. She's an idiot.
Okay, so the funny thing is, like, I didn't remove the ladder, and I was trying to pause it, and I put ladders all over the place.
And you
And
were like, just pick one.
I was
They're
like,
all
pick one, and
ladders.
I didn't. I was like 10. I didn't know pregnant Sims can't swim.
Oh my god. To be fair, shouldn't they be able to swim?
Well, apparently they can't. Well, I
Mm.
don't know about now, but I guess like Sims 3, pregnant Sims can't swim. And yeah, Levi, I'm calling you out.
Yeah,
I didn't
Levi.
kill your pregnant Sim wife.
Yeah. She died on her
She
own
did die
for
on her
not being
own.
able to swim.
And so I was like, okay,
She
I
was a
I
little submarine because
I will
pregnant.
fix it. And then like we had like the pack where you can like travel. So I go into like edit mode, and then I like kidnap this family. Put them in their
Yeah,
house.
you know the DLC where you can kidnap families.
No, like
Sims gotten real advanced since the last time I played.
I like moved them from China into their house, and then like I built a little side house, put her husband in it, burned her husband, and then had her marry my brother's character.
So, all right. So, kidnapping, removal of family and country, arranged marriages. What is Sims? Fucking 1700s. Jesus.
I picked the prettiest Sim, and she happened to be married, so like her and her
She had
husband.
a corset. They were voting on
Sure,
whether or not to
like.
keep George Washington in place.
So I was like, "There, I got you a new wife. Her husband's out of the way. You should be happy." And he's like, "I had a kid." I'm like, "Well, you could get a kid from her."
Yeah, you can just take one from the neighbors.
I
We've
know.
been doing it all day.
I mean, that I played Sims a weird way just to get him his wife back or a new wife because I felt bad. I was under the watch of his old one, and you know what? I'm sorry. You think I killed your pregnant wife, Sim?
Ugh. I feel like Sims is another game that like one
Oh.
would you could take like a whole episode to talk about because
Mhm.
even like Sims was the way that Sims started and the way that it has ended, or not ended, but like with the last game, like I remember when it came out with like the DLC where you could have like they brought in like ghosts and like
Mhm.
vampires and shit, and they were like the big talk was, oh man, did you get the ghost, or like when your character died they turn into a ghost or something, you have to put them in the graveyard at this time or do whatever over here. And I'm like, no man, I see, like before I got became like the hardcore gaming kind of aspect, Sims was like one of those things where I just my attention span wouldn't let me do what I needed to do.
I like Sims 4
Excuse
is
me.
definitely really good and a lot newer, but I think Sims 3 lets you do a little bit more. Like you can
I
go to
think
the
that was the last one I
store.
played.
You can go to the store with them. Sims 4, I think allows you to go to work with them, but just like Sims 3 has stuff that they didn't add in Sims 4.
Dude, I
So like I'm
remember.
gonna go broke buying
Yeah,
all of their expansions for both of them.
1,000%. I remember like when I was playing Sims and I was not a working person. And so I play Sims, and they were like, "Oh yeah, they got to go to work." And then I just hit the speed up button, and then they'd come home from work, and we're like, "Bam, I got money." And I'm like, "This work shit's easy." Then I became an adult, and I'm like, "Dude, this work shit sucks. This game lied to us. I can't just fast forward through my day. Like this is bullshit." And then I'm like, "Yeah, Sims did have it right. You have to fast forward because you're sitting over here making your house beautiful and pretty, and you're spending all this fucking money on it, and then." You're at work all the time. You're never home to enjoy it. It's the worst.
Yeah, 5
Sims
years ago
was
I was
ugly.
playing Sims. Okay, I had a Sims party, so like. We ordered pizza. Me and my best friend had computers, and we're just playing Sims, eating pizza, drinking like beer.
The big diamond on your head.
Yeah, like we're just sitting at my kitchen table, just playing Sims, and we're like, "Oh, okay, so you're running over your neighbor. Okay, cool. I'm I'm getting everybody pregnant in my Sims. I'm having an army of babies. That's how my gameplay is going right now.
Squibble, squabble, 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 squabble.
They're
Oh, that's
vampires, and
fantastic.
I'm like, I want vampires. Like, oh my god, spell like be a star and stuff. I want vampire spawns to rule the city.
I mean, yeah, that's the dream. That
Mhm.
is the dream. 1,000%. Uh,
I love
well,
how Sims was not even on this topic.
no, it wasn't. Weirdly enough, I mean, we're definitely gonna have you back again because we have actually other things on a list to
Stuff that we
talk
haven't
about,
even,
but
yeah,
it's Doctor Who really takes the cake. It's
yeah.
it's great. It truly is like a huge passion of mine. It's it's something that I think that everyone should at least check out. It not only like even if sci-fi is not your thing, the story and character development is easily some of the most creative and beautiful works of art that I've ever come across. Like I've yet to. Sometimes I find myself like trying to find other shows to kind of to give me that like that high that Doctor Who gives me,
I
and
don't think
I've
there's
yet to come
any other
across it.
show that's gotten that long. I mean, maybe The Simpsons, but like Doctor Who
Yeah,
first
Simpsons is
aired when the
the
Kennedy assassination
longest.
happened.
Yeah, it's
So like,
it is something. It's incredible.
did you know that they had to replay the first episode of Doctor Who the next day because well they were like everyone was tuned into the assassination, and so they were like, well, let's give it one more shot, see if
It
everybody
aired
else.
on the assassination day.
Yes.
I mean, okay, actually, now that I say that out loud, there's no way anybody would have fucking known because it's a fucking assassination.
So like they didn't get views, so they're like, let's try airing it one more time, and then the next day it blew up. Everybody loved it,
Oh yeah, I bet.
and like it's just that's a really good fun fact. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, like they picked the wrong day, but they didn't know what was
yeah.
gonna
Well,
happen
see,
that
that
day.
was my reaction. I was like, why would you schedule them on different days? It's like nobody knows that's just gonna
But
happen.
like, if they didn't take that chance again, we wouldn't
Yeah,
have had Doctor Who, and it
yeah.
blew up. Everybody loved it, and like the guy that played it, he would like go out, and everyone would be like, "You're Doctor Who. You're the Doctor Who." It was just like amazing,
Yeah.
and I think what when Matt Smith was Doctor, they had like the original like Doctor, somebody from like the old like kid that
Yeah,
had
they
like
had
the
the one
60s.
from the 60s, 70s, maybe 80s.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm really bad with like the history
I
stuff. But
can't
the
remember
guy,
who
the
it
one
was.
who wears the scarf.
Oh yeah, they like had a where he was sitting down. And I'm like, oh, I love that.
Was he he wasn't the fifth, right?
The
No.
I think
He
he was
had
the
maybe
fourth,
the eighth. Oh, okay. It would have to have been
the fourth or the eighth. No, no,
somewhere
no, not the eighth.
seventh maybe. My dad would know. He was it was his favorite doctor, which was such a cool like thing to like when we're watching the episodes and see my dad just be like that was the one I grew up like that was my
Mm-hmm.
introduction. So it was cool to see like my dad's perspective with all of Doctor Who and seeing like that this was his introduction, this was his doctor.
Mm-hmm.
So through all of the shows, his favorite is that doctor, and like forever like that'll be his doctor. Whereas for us it's
It's
David
David
Tennant.
Tennant. Yeah,
So
It's crazy. Like they don't have like if you want to get into it, you don't have to watch Classic Who first. I
No.
recommend it at one point if you like get
Yeah,
into
if
it.
you become like a diehard, absolutely. It
But
helps with a
like
lot of the lore
the
and
new
stuff,
like
but it's
I guess they don't have to start at the Ninth Doctor, but like it introduced like how angry he is, and then like he just like he changes from there
I think for one to
with the newer
understand,
generation. Yeah.
I think for you to understand the 10th Doctor, you have to watch the ninth. But
Hmm.
it is simple. Like the ninth Doctor only has like 12 episodes or something
Hmm.
like that. It's one
He didn't
season.
think the reboot was gonna be a hit, so he was like, "I'm just gonna do one season,"
Yeah, and he went and did
which
some other stuff.
I like. Good for him. I think he would have been really good
Yeah,
if
I
he.
really liked him. I really
Me
liked him.
too.
Yeah, it was really cool. He brought a really cool aspect to being the Doctor, but also at the same time, I think it was kind of
It
nice
was
because
fantastic.
the yeah, exactly, dude, fucking you nailed it. Um, I think because the show had been off air for a while,
Hmm.
and so it was kind of cool to see that like, hey, we're just picking up, but like the Doctor's still living his life. So like we're picking up, and we just happened to be on his last season before moving on to something else, kind of thing. And so it was, I think like it's in the broad scheme of things, I think it was great. But also there's a chance that if he did not step down, then there's a chance we never would have had
David
David
Tennant,
Tennant,
yeah.
because he would have taken another role
Hmm.
and done something else, and we never would have had that opportunity.
I would have liked to see Christopher like do like see how he would grow as the
Yes,
Doctor.
yeah, yeah, I definitely would have. I will say, just kind of like wrap the episode up. Have you watched after doing Doctor Who? Um, David Tennant went and did like a couple of the roles, but one that has gone for a second season, playing his character
Bad Omens.
as Crowley in Bad Omens.
I haven't really gotten into that.
Really?
Like, I want to. I just don't have the attention span to watch it.
If you grew up with a lot of religion teachings,
Mm-hmm.
or religion is like heavy in and around your life, it is like it's heavily based on biblical stories and stuff, but it's not from the like perspective of like heaven and hell. It's from the perspective of like a an angel who's sent to do a task, and a demon who's sent to like do a task. And the point is that there's a child in the prophecies that'll bring Armageddon, and this will uh, start the war between heaven and hell on Earth. And so they send the demon is supposed to find him, provoke him, and persuade him to trigger Armageddon, and the angel is sent to persuade him not to be nice. But the kicker is that they are both kind of shit at their jobs, and they found the wrong kid. So the kid who actually is starting Armageddon is struggling with the feelings of being, of like the actual fight between good and evil inside his own mind. Whereas Crowley and I really wish I knew the other guy's name, but in the Angel, they're basically trying to persuade the wrong fucking kid. It's a very
Mm.
humorous show. It ends on the first season ends on a really really cool note. I haven't dove into season 2 yet, but I
I've
know
heard
it's
it's
really
really
good. I
good.
know, yeah, I've heard it's really really good. So, um, Saya, thank you so much for being here.
You're
You
welcome.
are incredible. I am so happy that I now have another person I can talk about Doctor Who with. I think we've really only scratched the surface with Doctor Who. I think there's so much
Again,
more to
it's a
talk
big
about.
ball of timey-wimey, wibbly wobbly stuff.
I would love to talk so much more with you about it. You are streaming. You're starting to get. Do you have a set schedule yet, or you're starting to get to a schedule?
I don't know how I set up, but like when I look at my Xbox, it says like Fridays at 6 or 7. I have
Mm-hmm.
to look. Um, but I will have to like throw on the Doctor Who game so you can see. I liked it. It's
I'm
beautiful.
I'm honestly like after this, I'm probably gonna download it. And then honestly, what I might do is I might play it and record it and throw it right here. So like if you're watching it on YouTube, there's a good chance you'll be seeing it right here.
Here or oh god, what's his name? Art. Here Art. Doctor Who or Art. No.
Yeah, no, I'll be just posting a bunch of things. I gotta go back and make notes and stuff. But yeah, it's yeah, this was a pleasure. It was really
Yeah.
nice having you here today.
Everyone was like, "What are you guys gonna talk about?" I'm like, Doctor Who.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
Most
always.
likely.
Yeah. I'm gonna put the your links and stuff down at the bottom. So for the outro, just let everybody know, who you are, what games you play, where they can find you on social medias and stuff, and yeah, we'll wrap it up.
Yeah. Well, obviously, I'm Saya. Yeah, that's my
It's
gamer
like
tag.
4 or 2 6
62,
62
62, like
62. Yeah,
Lilo and Stitch,
right.
numbers.
62.
I will be streaming Friday at 6 o'clock. Woo! Doctor Who, obviously.
Nice.
I'll probably do Doctor Who next week too, just
Hell yeah.
when this comes out. Love video games, love anime, love the Capitals. I just wanted to throw that out.
Throw it out there.
You suck, silly frog.
It's gonna be another like feud guests. We have
they're
Noah and
the
Tom,
Flyers.
you and Silly Frog.
They're into the Flyers, and I'm like, I don't care. The Capitals are the best. I'm not from Pennsylvania. If everybody kind of realizes.
Yeah, I'm not into sports, so I never know what's going on. People are like, "Oh man," I go to work. The amount of times they're like, "Man, did you see that?
Football
the
game
game?"
that was
And I'm like,
the other day. It was like the Eagles versus the
goal
Redskins.
Units.
I know that they're not called the Redskins, but I'm like, I don't care. They're the Deadskins to me. I never liked them.
Yeah. It's I never got into like the whole super sports things, but also that's not. I think like a lot of people who are really, really, really into sports have family members who are really, really into sports, and that's kind of where like you kind of get drawn in from. No one in my family is into sports, so it's like it was never even
sports, a thing. And then we were into like me and my sister did orchestra. We did the violins. My brothers did saxophone, trumpet, drums.
Nice.
My
I played
little
the clarinet.
Never did a instrument, which sucks because we always had to like hike ours up the hill.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I did the clarinet because
Levi. JK. You're my mod. You're a good mod sometimes.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I played the clarinet in school, but it was only because I didn't know what the word percussion meant. And I really wanted to play drums, and I didn't see drums on the list of things to do.
Well, I make fun of Silly Frog's brother because he was in chess club, but I was like the vice president of anime club, so I can't really...
Fucking nerds.
I'm like, who joins the chess club?
Yeah, fucking anime nerd. Oh my god, that's amazing. I love it. Thank you for being here. We're gonna have you back because we have so many things to talk about. It's ridiculous. Yeah, is there anything else that where can we find you on social media? We know you're on Twitch. Yeah, you're on.
I'm not gonna throw my TikTok out. Like I know it's on my Twitch bio, but I gotta find something else.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I gotta still remove mine from my big link thing, but yeah, we'll take send me all of your links,
okay,
and I will put them in the description below. And then do yourselves a favor, go check out Saya, go hang out with Saya, go check out you are streaming Fridays at 6 p.m. Is that your guaranteed day? Or like I don't know, like 80% sure day kind of thing?
Yeah.
It's like the one you target for?
Yeah.
That's good.
It's like with the weekend and like probably like after work hours.
Yeah.
I have like the time. It's probably the time's gonna change with schedule, but
yeah, twice a year. Daylight savings.
Oh right.
It was a joke.
Oh.
It's because there is so you're on Twitch. We'll find your other links. When you hear this episode, the day it comes out, you streamed yesterday.
Yes, yes.
um, for the rest of you, go check out our links below. It's in our wonderful little link tree now that there's not like 1,000 different links and stuff. Go check us out. We're on Twitch every Saturday, Sunday, and Monday morning for our Monday Fun Day cozy game streams, where right now we're playing Stardew Valley and trying to rock through that. I've been enjoying that one immensely. But it's Mondays are our nice, easy, cozy game days. Come hang out, grab a coffee. You got something on your mind you want to talk about, come hang out. We'll talk about it. Never has to be emotional, but if you want to get emotional, we'll fucking get emotional. It's a day where we just kind of open chat up to entirely anything. Saturdays and Sundays are our main game streams. Saturdays from 7 to midnight, and Sundays from about 8:30 ish, 9 o'clock to midnight. So go check us out there. I'd say go check out our TikTok, but I am dropping TikTok altogether. So you're not going to be able to find that. If you want to go find our episodes or our videos, you'll be able to see our older ones, but I'm not going to be posting there anymore. If you want to see our new clips and small short form medias and stuff, go check out the Instagrams, which are still in the link, and go check out our YouTube page where most of the videos are going to start going. I'm also going to start posting a lot of the stream videos, so you can kind of keep up on the gameplay aspect on our YouTube channel. If you want to stick around for the chats and the conversations and the goofy times, go check us live on Twitch. If you just want to see me playing some games and struggling to read at anything above a 6th grade level, go check out our YouTube page.
I can't ride, you can't read. That's fine.
Yep, and they'll all make fun of us for it for the rest of our lives, and there's nothing we can do about it. So,
Allons-y.
Allons-y. Do yourselves a favor. Go outside, look up at the sky, feel the sun on your face, hug a tree, high five a squirrel.
In the face.
And we'll see you on the next one. Unbelievable.